Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining AI Future State. My name is Liz, and on our podcast, we have the pleasure of talking with Sean Becker today. Thanks for joining, Sean.
Thank you. So I'm owner, CEO of a few companies. One of my main company is Becker Roofing and Exteriors. We do a lot of roofing for residential and commercial clients. I specialize in multifamily as well as residential. So I teamed up with an HVAC company about a year and a half ago, opened another company. Was having my third kid, and I thought, why not open a couple more companies to celebrate? I need some extra money.
You don't have enough
So
going on right now.
yeah, so with three kids, I was like, I need some extra income. So I teamed up with an HVAC guy. The guy beat me on a bid, and
Oh,
on a multifamily bid, and I was like, I asked the owner of that apartment complex, hey, I need to meet that HVAC guy that beat me. He beat me so bad. I was embarrassed. I was like, he beat me like my price was double. I was like, I don't know how this guy's doing it. And so that's where me and Will Springer decided to open a company called Multifamily Energy Savers.
so the
Uh,
first is your roofing and exterior, then it's multifamily energy savers. That's two.
yes, and the third company is Texas Roof Experts. I do consulting with attorneys and public adjusters all over the nation for large loss hail and wind claims.
Okay.
Typically, they have me come in and do estimating. There'll be a contractor on the job that meets the insurance, and then I prepare estimates and do expert consulting work for them. Find little details on the scope of work that might be missing. I've
Mm.
been doing large loss stuff for about 12 years, and so I have a lot of experience in the HVAC side of things, windows, and all sorts of like stuff that's not the roof that people miss on these large loss claims. So
Gotcha.
they hire me to do that type of stuff, and that's something that I can do nationwide.
Great.
But that's three of the four companies. The fourth company is just Becker General Contracting Services.
Okay. So that's
So
any type of contracting inside the home, outside the home. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
yes, basically, I was getting charged for all my. I was doing a lot of general contracting with Becker Roofing and Exteriors,
Hmm.
and my insurance rates were about four times the cost
Oh,
because
wow.
every dollar was going as roofing risk. So when I separated the two companies, Becker General Contracting Services does all the drywall, does all the low risk stuff, gutters and stuff. It's like
So your premiums dropped.
my premiums dropped significantly. My insurance bill at the end of the year is a lot cheaper than it was um, a few years ago. So that was like one of the things that it took me about 15 years to learn. But here we are today. Now I got insurance savings that are huge every year.
It makes all the difference. That's like really how productive you can be. I mean, in any industry where there's high insurance premiums, it's like a stranglehold on somebody, especially with three kids. I mean, I have a cousin that's a doctor. The insurance premiums are very high. It's staggering. So anything you can do to mitigate those expenses, super creative, super important.
Yes. And
So,
I don't know who introduced me to that, but um, once I learned how to do it, it was like a swift move. I was like, okay, I need to open up this other company and run all the non-roofing stuff through Becker General Contracting Services.
so it's interesting. So basically, with a lot of the contracting services, you're centralized in Dallas, Texas. However, with your consultation practice, you can be nationwide. So, do you work through, just so people know where to find you? Would I call you if I were an attorney working on behalf of my client when there's a disaster at home? Who would want to call you, and how would they go about using your services? Would it be the attorney, the homeowner, the insurance company? Like, how does that work?
So it would typically be the attorney
Okay.
or public adjuster. Public adjusters are the adjusters that work for the homeowner, not the insurance company.
Got it. Yes.
Um, but I mean, in the future, I wouldn't mind working for an insurance company as well.
Gotcha.
Um, I've started on the policyholder side, and I really like making sure everything is as accurate as possible for the policyholder and the attorneys and public adjusters.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
and
live in New York, and you probably don't remember because you're not in New York, but it was like 15 years ago we had Hurricane Sandy, or maybe a little, maybe 13, and I saw a lot of that dynamic here on Long Island because people's homes were destroyed due to floods. And I think so much of what people got in the way of money to fix their homes, and some people lifted their homes, it was all in the hands of the adjusters and the people working on their behalf. So it's super, super important to have really, really talented people doing that, because you're left either, the quality of the home that you're left with, depends on those people.
yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that homeowners don't know, or even attorneys and public adjusters, they might not know specific to that area, wind
Right.
codes, coastal codes. Like I have a customer down by Houston that he's hoping that his property gets hit by a hurricane sometime so that he can lift
Call
it up
you.
onto pillars.
Yes,
So, I
absolutely.
mean, and before taking on anything like that, I do a lot of studying about that area and what the codes are, and what needs to be done to bring the house back to, or business back to pre-loss condition. And a lot of
Gotcha.
times there's building code coverage. So the insurance companies do cover some of those building code upgrades, like lifting the house on pillars.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so it's important to have somebody advocating for you and making sure you're getting the most bang for your buck when, you've got your home destroyed in front of your eyes, You
Yep.
got the best people working for you. So that's great to know. So tell us a little bit, part of this conversation is about how you started and what brought you here today, because you're obviously super successful for businesses. Um, the people watching this podcast are, many of them, entrepreneurs, founders, people, if they're not in the C-suite, their eyes are on the C-suite. So can you tell us a little bit about your story, where you started and how you got to where you are today?
Yes. So I started off at Craigslist. I
Oh,
I was looking for a commission type job, sales, and I wanted a big ticket item. I was waiting tables, and I was sick of making like 20% on $100, and
yeah.
I was like, I want to sell something big, and roofing caught my eye. I had a couple interviews, one for Bible sales and one for roofing sales, and I went to the roofing one first, and I called the Bible sales guy back, and I was like, I don't think I'm exactly the right fit for that right now. So I went with roofing, and I had a lot of trouble in the beginning of my roofing career with
Mm.
my first employer not being slow to pay. So then I started working for another guy pretty quickly, and right after right after I started working for him, he was like, Sean, can you train this other guy that I have? He doesn't sell quite like you. He's not as outgoing. I was like, yeah, I can. I definitely will train whoever. Then he was having me recruit people. Then he was having me do a lot of management stuff. And then finally, I was like, at some point, I'm going to start my own company. Entrepreneurship has been in the blood of my family for like 30, 40 years. My grandfather built hotels in Branson, Missouri. A lot of my uncles, my aunt, my mom, they ran hotels or ran restaurants, ran photo shops, different things on his properties. And then so I've since I was 6, I knew what entrepreneur the word was, and I was like, man, I someday I want to be like my grandpa, driving around, going to the bank, saying hi, shaking hands, and just
It's
you know,
amazing.
serving people in some type of way. I didn't know how,
Hmm.
but after 5 years of working for somebody else in the roofing space, I teamed up with a business partner, one of my good friends. I taught him how to sell roofs for that first or the second employee, and we ran a business for about 3 years, and then he got married and he wanted to split into two separate companies. So then I opened Becker Roofing and Exteriors with my wife, and we've been going with Becker Roofing and Exteriors for the last 7 years,
Wow. Oh,
and it's been pretty good. I did 3 years with my business partner, and then 7 years on my own with Becker Roofing and Exteriors. I've had my ups and downs. In 2021, I had a really large team, about 15 of us, and had a pretty big loss on an apartment deal.
mhm.
And so I've slimmed down to about 4 or 5 of us, but it was kind of perfect timing.
Yes.
I didn't know that AI was going to be so awesome. Like, I had so many people, so many. I feel like so many uh, people that I needed at that time. But now with AI, I need a lot less people to do about the same amount of stuff. And I got pretty heavy into commercial stuff, commercial multifamily. So I was pulling out of the residential space and getting more into the commercial. And um, you don't have to do as many jobs to do the same amount of revenue
On the
when you're
commercial side.
on the commercial side.
Okay.
So it's not like you need a lot of people because on residential, you'll have one sales guy talking to like 80 to 100 customers a year or
Hmm.
working with 80 to 100 customers. On the
Hmm.
commercial side, you might work with 10 customers a year.
Okay.
So
So does that
you
mean it's
don't,
easier to scale on the commercial side then because it's 10 rather than 80, but bigger jobs?
it's not really. It's kind of like it takes a special person because there's a longer wait time. It's a
Okay.
longer, so I still do residential. I love residential as well because I guess when you're hunting elephants, they say you got to eat a lot of chickens. Uh, so I mean, residential jobs go real quick. Quick for insurance is like 1 to 3 months. Commercial could be a year or two
Oh,
that
gosh.
you're
Okay.
spending on one job just from the insurance pushing back. Once the insurance says okay after about 6 or 9 months and funds the job, then you're working with the mortgage company and the owner of that property, and typically it takes time for all the approvals to go through, all the permitting and stuff like that. So,
So as we say, like this is a phrase we use, the days to dollars is compared to residential, right?
yeah.
So
So
and that's not for the weak of faint of heart.
no, I feel like you definitely need a balance of both, a good balance of both, if until you get to a point where you're doing enough commercial that you can maybe cut back on the residential completely. But
Gotcha. So
I
tell
de-
us, you mentioned AI and how you've used AI to grow your business, and it sounds like you've done it for a while, which is interesting. So would you mind sharing a little bit of how you've used it? And I mean, I understand the part about like you don't need to hire as many people for the amount of work you can get done using AI. So can you just share with us a little bit about that? And then if you have any other tips or tricks to using AI as a tool to grow your business, if you don't mind sharing, that would be great.
no, I'd love to share. So I've used AI to do a lot of content. Basically, I have a program called ScaleNut or software. It's a blog writing tool.
Wonderful.
Um,
Okay. Can you say
so
that again? Scale?
ScaleNut.com.
Yes. Okay, good to know. Make a note,
And
people.
Yeah, so that you put in like 20 keywords. I'll use ChatGPT and I'll ask it, hey, I want to write a blog about roofing in the winter. Give me 20 keywords, SEO friendly for roofing in the winter, Fort Worth, Keller. And I'll put my website in there and it'll shoot me out 20 keywords that are going to be targeted to roofing in the winter in Fort Worth, Keller, and that also tie to my website. And then I'll also ask it, give me a 500 character description. And it will basically it'll give me a, hey, roofing in the winter, you want to watch out in Dallas Fort Worth. We have warm days and cold days in the winter. Luckily, shingles do take, you typically need 45 degrees and higher to be laying shingles. So it'll like create a little like paragraph for me. I input that stuff into ScaleNut, and then it writes like a 2,000 word blog for me with pictures and the big headlines and stuff like that. So
Amazing.
you can really grow your business off of blogging. And once you do blogs, you can create a really robust FAQ page on your website. You put the blogs onto your website. You can summarize those blogs to make Facebook posts. And I mean, I've used AI just for helping me draft emails. One tip that took me a long time. I've been using AI, I think, for 3 years now, or ChatGPT, and I was always typing. I love like just hammering on the keyboard or on my phone, like typing real fast. And somebody told me, like, I watched a video and there was a short clip and the lady was like, I can type 40 words per minute, but I can talk 170.
Okay, so you're using that feature then now.
So I talk to her a lot. I made it a her instead of a him. Like she talks back in some kind of Indian voice, and I talk to it a lot, and then I also have it review my website. I'll put it in my
Oh,
website, and I'll
so
say,
you literally
hey,
plug in your website address and say, please review the white website for me. That's
yes, I'll be
amazing.
like, hey, give me some ideas on what I need to do next to improve my website. And one of my business coaches told me, hey, Sean, you should use AI to make a web-based apps that can help you in your day-to-day business or help your customers. And so with all this like self-checkout at the grocery store,
Yeah.
I've been really wanting to create my website where customers can almost help themselves to figure out the cost of their roof before calling me, figure out if there's been hailstorms near their house, figure out what their insurance premiums would be if they got a new roof.
Yeah.
So I've built 5 or 6 calculators and put them on my website so that people can estimate their own roof, they can measure their own roof, they can see what type of materials, if they want to go from shingles to metal or tile, they can find out what ballpark price would be,
So that's right
and
on your website now.
that's on my website now.
And I think that's great because so many people, and I've done construction in my home as well, you think you're going to have one price, and many times it's could be 40% more, 50% more. And I think to give your customers a fair idea of what their cost is ahead of time, that builds trust right away.
Yep.
So you
And
know, it starts using AI, you're creating a strong foundation for your relationship with your potential client before you even meet them, I think.
yes, that's my idea. I was like, man, if they can learn as much as
Yeah.
possible about how much it's going to cost, ballpark range, and then they give us a call and they're like, hey, I really liked your website, or I saw you on the news article or something, then they can say, hey, I priced my own roof out. I want to go to metal, or I want to go to stone coated steel. They're like, I think I have enough set aside to do that. It's kind of like they're shopping for a roof before they call us for a consultation, and then we can
Which is,
tell them,
it
hey,
empowers them, which I think
it
is
does.
great. And so have you had any, obstacles that you want to share while you're, bringing on new clients, while you're probably retaining clients, so, it's not just one and done, although I know with construction, one project, that could be 10 years before you have the next project. Have you used AI at all to bring on new clients, or in regard to just expanding your reach with new clients?
So I use AI to do follow-up emails. I don't necessarily have it automated,
Gotcha.
but I've used. We also have like in our customer relationship management tool, we have some AI in there where not AI but automatizations where once we go inspect the property, it'll send an email out like a few days later saying, hey, we inspected your property, found hail damage or found no damage, and it's really like you click a button for one or the other, and it'll help send out the email. A lot of stuff we do on templates, but I'm not. I haven't gotten into the lead generation with the AI. I guess wrote like AI phone calls.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well, if you
starting
don't
to
need to,
interest me.
yeah, if you haven't needed to yet, but I think it sounds like you've used it for so much in the way of growing your business so far, as far as the quality of the work that you do and communication and engagement with your clients, like that's, I think, helping to build your business right there.
Yes, and a couple big projects that I've done is so with a business coach, I wrote my first book, Roofs at Last,
Oh, okay.
and that was a really expensive year-long project, and there was a lot of effort put into it.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to write a second book when I opened the HVAC business.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, man, the book's been so good for my roofing business. I was featured in the Dallas Morning News after I wrote that book, and so I was like, man, I want to write a book for the HVAC. This is such a complicated idea or like it's very niche. We're not just HVAC for residential. We only do HVAC for multifamily, and
Okay.
it's through government and energy grants.
Okay. Okay.
So the owner of the building, will help them with the government grant, and basically 70 to 80% of the HVAC is covered by this grant,
Amazing.
and so to apply for the grant and to find out information, it's like the money's like really it's really good money, but it's really hard program. So I wrote a book to kind of teach multifamily owners about the grants and
Hmm.
then give them the resources that they could research more on the grants. But
It's
then in
amazing.
hopes that they're like, man, I read the book and I still don't want to do it. And they give us a call so we can help them through the process because it's still, I mean, every AC unit with these grants, you got to take like 10 pictures of the AC unit as it's being installed and as the one
Okay.
is being ripped out and
Okay.
measuring the efficiency of the building before.
And so you have expertise in that, so you can make that easier for people.
So I'm more of the expert on the insurance claim side, but
Okay.
my business partner, Will Springer, he's more of the expert on the grant side. So,
So with the
um,
grant, at the end, so this is important. So you wrote the book for people that own multifamily houses, or for
multifamily complex, like
So
apartment complex.
and in the end, the installation of the new HVAC system should save people on their bills, and the business and the owner on their bills as well, right? At the end of the day, it
So
should help them to save money on their costs for
exactly.
electricity.
We're seeing tenants. Some tenants are paying $600 to $1,000 to heat and cool their 1,000 square foot apartment
A
unit
month.
on the really hot summer months and on the really cold winter months.
That's insane.
And that's because it's an old, inefficient AC unit.
Hmm.
The new high efficiency AC units, it's costing them about like $100.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah, so a lot of these apartment owners have been putting off replacing HVAC units for 30 years. And
Right.
we're ripping those out and putting in brand new units, and it's costing them next to nothing.
Unbelievable.
And they're able to raise their rent maybe $100 a month or $50 a month to cover the cost over like the next 2 or 3 years. It's going to be easy to recoup the money that they spent outside of the grant, but
'Cause-
they
right.
also are
I was going to say
they're
it sounds.
also very low maintenance. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No, no, no. So it's like an 80% discount, more or less. They can charge higher rent because their tenants don't have to deal with these incredibly high bills every month. So it sounds like it's a win-win all the way around.
It
But
is.
it's complicated, so they need your resources.
Yes, it's complicated. That's why I wrote like a 100-page book on it, and then and
And you used AI to do that?
yes, I used a lot of AI to do that. So that's another thing that business owners, if you have something complicated that you want to teach your clients, a book is like one of the most powerful tools in marketing to help teach your clients. And the clients that read books are normally like really educated clients, so they're
Mhm.
really great clients to have
Yes.
because um, they want to know a lot before they buy something, and those are sometimes the best clients like to have.
Right. Yeah, yeah. It's not like hours of explanation. They've done their homework. Question, is the book out there on the market right now?
Yes, so both of my books are on Amazon, and
Uh-huh.
then the newest one I believe is on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
Is that the HVAC book?
The multifamily energy savers is on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon.
Wonderful. And so there's how many books altogether out there? There's three
There's just two for now.
in the moment. Okay, the other one's in the works?
Yeah, I have probably two more in the works, but I don't have any plans to release them
We'll
anytime
save that for the
soon.
next podcast.
Yes.
But anyway, we're actually almost at a half an hour mark right now, and this has been great. I feel like we could do yet another podcast on how you've used AI to publish books to grow your business. That's a great topic. One I think people would love to know more about. So if you're open to it, maybe we'll do this again. But for the
Oh,
moment, where can people, if they're trying to find you online, if they want to learn more about you and your businesses, where can they find you to get more information?
so the best place to find me is either my website. There's lots of forms that you can fill out to get more information, get a free copy of my book or books.
Wonderful. And your
I have
website is?
It's www.brexteriors.com.
Okay,
And
great.
I'm also on Facebook, LinkedIn, all the other social platforms. And
Instagram, all of that.
yes, Instagram.
Okay, great.
And then my office number, 817-898-7175.
Great.
So any of those ways, and I'm sure on my website you can find my email or um, contact me through Facebook, and I'll give you my cell phone number.
Wonderful. And I think there's a lot of different angles to this where you could be a great resource to people, in regards to the insurance claims, in regards to if you're in the Dallas area. So thank you so much. This has been a great chat. I really appreciate it, Sean.
Liz, thank you very much for inviting me. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.